Gokarrt. Today we're looking at the most diabolical sex addicts in history. Let's jump straight into this bitch, because what the fuck?
Number 10,
Okay.
James Joyce. Now, if you don't know who James Joyce is, he's regarded as one of the most influential and important writers of the 28th century. He made the book Ulysses, also considered to be the hardest book to read in the English language, but as great as his literature was, he used that same talent to write a note to his wife about the weirdest activities his wife and him did in the bedroom. Sit back and relax as I read you this elegant, sophisticated, classy note towards his wife.
Hold on.
I felt your fat, sweaty buttocks. Okay, we're starting off strong here. Let's start again.
Hold on.
I felt your fat, sweaty buttocks under my belly and saw your flushed face and mad eyes. At every bleep, I gave you your shameless tongue came bursting out through your lips. And if I gave you a bigger, stronger bleep than usual, fat, dirty farts came spluttering out of your backside. You had an arse full of farts that night, darling, and I bleeped them out of you.
What?
Big fat fellows, long windy ones, quick little merry cracks, and a lot of tiny little naughty farties ending in a long gush from your hole. It is wonderful to bleep a farting woman when every bleep drives one out of... Number 9.
Hold on, brother. What the fuck? Wait up. What the fuck did she eat before y'all? You need to check her ass out. That was a freaky ass letter that he didn't need to write. He could have simply told her ass that. Oh yeah, I like the way you was farting while I was beating you down, like beating you down.
Herod the Great.
Herod the Great.
We all know Herod, yes? The famous king in the Bible who tried to execute Jesus Christ after learning about his birth.
I think everybody in
his
the Bible
time,
is freaks
Herod
just a
used
little
to
bit.
be a great king of Judea and was responsible for building large projects like fortresses such as Herodium and Masada, including the remodeling of the Jerusalem temple. Besides the great things he did, his evil was quite unmatchable to a point that Satan would even lose the trophy to him. While the Holy Book gives very little details about him, this king's story would make you want to puke. Even his first biographer, the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, struggled to evaluate the inconsistency.
Hold on. We're not gonna speed past that nigga name. Wessigus? Flavius Wessigus? What type of shit? Who named this nigga, bro? Freaky ass parents. I know our son coming in like the next couple of weeks. What you think we should name this thing? Flapper fucker face.
Consistencies between Herod's benevolence and his brutality. One that comes out to be more surprising to date is how he managed to be sleeping with his wife's corpse. For those of you...
No fucking way. No. I don't believe this shit. You sleeping with your wife's dead body, nigga? I'm sorry, nigga. I'll never miss a bitch that much to where I'm like, you know what? Her lifeless body kind of look good right now. Slide on that. The fuck out of here. Should be incarcerated under the jail.
You who don't know her, Mariamne was the second wife of Herod the Great. Their relationship was quite complicated. Especially when the king started killing most of Mariamne's relatives out of jealousy. Do you know that Herod also gave out orders for Mariamne's execution as soon as he died? His reason, so that Mariamne wouldn't remarry. After learning much about her adulterous behavior, Herod finally killed Mariamne, preserving her body in honey for several years. And something even more barbaric, he went ahead to have sex with her body till his downfall. Perhaps he could be the founding father of the term honey.
Why would we just see that? Why did we have to see that? This is some freak shit. You're a freaky bastard.
Sweetest name you call that your girlfriend with. Number 8, Caligula. He was one notorious Roman emperor who is remembered for his depraved and twisted behavior in bed. His perverse appetite for sex was quite unmatchable to the extent that he turned his sexual organ to a dildo for women during those days. Caligula even formed incestuous relationships with his sisters, forcing them...
Hold on, you were such a freak that you said, you know what? Let me rip my shit off and let bitches play with it while I'm not around. What? You want hoes to have a souvenir off you, brother? Just in case you too busy? Yeah, you want some other shit.
Married women to participate in orgies, and even claiming to have had intimate relationships with his horse, which he appointed as a consul.
No.
Caligula's desires were not only bizarre, but also sadistic, and he took pleasure in humiliating and torturing his victim during his escapades. His obsession with power was often expressed through his intimate behavior, which he used to exert dominance and control over others. Despite his shocking and repugnant behavior, Caligula's reign was short-lived, lasting only 4 years.
Good.
His tyrannical rule and unstable behavior eventually led to his assassination by his guards.
Thank God.
However,
Nigga's
his
a
legacy
freak.
continues to fascinate and disgust people to this day,
Yeah.
serving as a reminder of the dark and twisted nature of human desire and power.
Fuck.
Number 7, Emperor Nero.
Yeah, I don't know none of
Ultimately,
these
he
niggas.
would be ranked as the only man in this list, and even beyond, with the highest libido ever.
The highest what?
He was one of the most flamboyant and controversial leaders of ancient Rome. Nero indulged in lavish extravagance, corruption, and unrestrained sexuality. Nero was known for his sexual promiscuity and engaged in both homosexual and heterosexual relationships.
Oh.
He even went so far as to marry a young boy named Sporus in a public ceremony after castrating him and treating him as a wife.
What
His
the
behaviors
fuck?
were often seen as a threat to the stability of the empire, leading to rebellion and political turmoil. Despite his reputation as a tyrant, some historians argue that he was misunderstood and unfairly malaligned.
So you telling me the niggas on this list is fucking anything moving? Yeah, they're for sure burning in hell.
However, his unchecked power and manipulation of political systems ultimately led to his downfall. Nero was forced to flee Rome and later decided to commit suicide, which brought an end to the Julio-Claudian dynasty.
Yes.
Number 6, Marquis de Sade. He is a famous author. This guy was ridiculous, and he's the sole reason the word sadism exists, as he gave rise to it. First of all, do you guys understand the meaning of sadism?
Yeah, what
For
is
those
that?
who don't know, don't worry, because it's just this pretty simple term that I'm sure you will leave this place reminiscing it in your thoughts of how cruel this man was. It's actually the tendency to derive pleasure, especially sexual gratification, from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others.
Oh, that's fucking.
Drawing
That's
huge inspiration.
that's like the worst like type of nigga though. Like you gotta think about that. Like, imagine your husband or your wife saying that to you. Like, damn, like when you're screaming in pure horror, horrifying like agony and pain. I wanna ejaculate in my pants. Like, what, nigga? The fuck are we talking about?
From 120 Days of Sodom, Philosophy in the Bedroom, The Crimes of Love, and Letters from Prison, Marquis de Sade was another hell of a man. During his lifetime, Sade was found guilty of sodomy, rape, torturing the
no.
36-year-old beggar woman Rose Keller, imprisoning 6 children in his chateau at Lacoste, and poisoning 5 prostitutes with the aphrodisiac Spanish fly. Despite all these allegations against him, the man was able to avoid death sentence but still spent 32 years in prisons and insane asylums, partly due to the intervention of his family members who kept him locked up to avoid disgrace.
That nigga might as well
He
just
later
die.
came back to the limelight, only to find most of his work seized, destroyed, and banned under the Napoleon Bonaparte era. Number 5, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Imagine
Who are
walking
you
at
niggas?
night, turning your head down a dark alley, only to see a guy with his ass tooted up hoping for a smacking. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was born on 28th of June 1712 in Geneva to a watchmaker named Isaac Rousseau and a woman named Suzanne, who died of puerperal fever days after his birth. Like a curse to his mother,
Yeah.
he had developed a fetish desire to have people's hands grab his ass. It was something natural to him, like a cat wanting to be rubbed on its head. Too shy to approach a visitor for the rubbing, John had gotten too shy of women to a point he even confessed it. He says, and I will quote, "To lie at the feet of an imperious mistress, to obey her commands, to ask her forgiveness. This was for me a sweet enjoyment, and the more lively imagination heated my blood, the more I presented the appearance of a bashful lover." And not only that, John would try to fulfill his sexual desires of being spanked in a most cunning and extravagant way. He would often expose himself to women in hopes that they would discover him, like a portrait. He would often parade his ass towards them just to get it spanked.
That's so fucking weird. Like, why would you have to just, like, you tune your ass to everybody that walks past you, nigga? Hoping one of them is a fucking, just as much as a freaky monster as you, to be like, oh, I'm gonna grab that. Like, you dirty bitch. What the fuck is going
One
on?
uncalled act that lived with him throughout his life till when he met his death in 2nd of July, 1778. Number 4, King Charles II of Spain. Also known as El Hechizado or the Bewitched, was a monarch who suffered from
That's a
numerous
big-ass
physical
nose.
and mental health issues. His health problems were widely attributed to his parents' incestuous relationship,
Ooh.
which produced several children with serious health problems.
Ooh.
Despite his poor health and infertility, Charles married twice and was known to engage in intimate relationships with various women throughout his life. One of the most scandalous aspects of Charles's intimate life was his pursuit of his niece Maria Barbara. Charles was said to have infatuated with her and openly pursued her, even though she was already married to his nephew.
Wow.
This relationship caused great scandal and was widely condemned, even in a society where marriages between close relatives were not uncommon. In addition to his relationship to Maria Barbara, Charles was also known to have had affairs with other women, including a dwarf. This relationship was particularly controversial.
I ain't gonna lie, would you not fuck a midget? No, like, be real with me right now. Like, would you fuck a midget? I ain't gonna lie, some of them be looking good enough to where I could pick a bitch up and tuck her a pound down, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But if it's like a dwarf, like a little bitch with big feet, hairy knuckles, like, then that's a different fucking story.
Dwarfs at that time were seen as subjects of amusement or ridicule rather than as romantic partners. Despite his many sexual liaisons, Charles was unable to produce an heir, and his reign was marked by political instability and decline.
Damn.
His health continued to deteriorate, and he died at the age of 38, leaving no legitimate children to succeed him.
Oh, that's
The
great.
strange and scandalous aspects of
Niggas don't
Charles'
need this.
personal life have made him a fascinating figure in history and continue to capture people's imagination even today. Number 3, Albert Einstein. If you think your hubby has a big problem when it comes to staying faithful, wait till you hear about Albert Einstein.
What?
He was a much bigger problem to his wives than you might think. Yeah, known to be one of the greatest scientists to ever grace the world, Albert Einstein was a different story when it came to marital affairs. He was kind of a playboy, dancing around the seduction game with much creativity, and ended up sleeping with more than 10 women in his lifetime. When Einstein
That's
married
it,
his
nigga?
first wife,
He slept with 10 bitches and they was like, oh yeah, this nigga's a fucking bachelor. What? That's average, nigga. I mean, for a good looking nigga, it's not that hard to come across 10 different bitches that, you feel me, want it type shit. You feel me? But like, was he really a freak monster? Or did they just try to put this nigga in the list because they was like, you know, we need somebody that these niggas know. I'm talking about the last 8 niggas, I swear, I can't remember their names now, nigga, and I just seen this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably just threw this nigga in for the fuck of it.
he told her frankly, accept neither intimacy nor fidelity. And despite saying these words, he still went ahead to cheat on both his wives with at least 10 different women.
Fuck it.
Now, here's the most interesting bit when he married his cousin Elsa, his first cousin on his mother's side. He went ahead to defend his behavior after sleeping with her younger sister in a letter, and he noted, "You can't blame me. We were young and she was willing."
No.
Again, in another instance,
Your
he goes on
cousin's
to
great.
elaborate on his disbelief about monogamy. He wrote, "I'm sure you know that most men, as well as quite a number of women, are not monogamously endowed by nature. Further, he states, nature will come through even stronger if convention and circumstances are putting resistances in the way of an individual."
So he's a fucking,
Above
he
all
really was a
this, we
fucking
will always
genius.
live to remember Einstein for his remarkable contribution to atomic theory and electromagnetic wave theory. Number 2, Christian Andersen. Andersen was a Danish author who's known for the famous ugly duckling. Besides that, he was believed to be a virgin throughout his life and was scared to have sex, believing that it would infatuate his God-given gift in
Why you on the
literacy
list
skills. Even though on 4 occasions in his later years he visited brothels, each time only talking with a naked prostitute and then fleeing in religious guilt. One
Nigga
thing
was
that he
talking to her,
finally
was like,
came
"I
to
can't
confess
do
in his
this."
diaries is how he did have sexual urges, and even in 1834 he recorded, "My blood is churning, huge sensuality and struggle with myself. If it really is a sin to satisfy this powerful urge, then let me fight it. I'm still innocent, but my blood is burning." In other instances, he would often masturbate and write about it in his diary.
What the
He would
fuck?
talk to prostitutes and masturbate. Till his death in
Bro.
1875, Anderson never slept with anyone and remained like that, believing that doing so would only but mark the end of his literacy gifts.
I'm
Number
so
1.
fucking sorry, but I'm not going my whole life out beating a bitch down. I'm talking about you didn't beat one bitch Goonies down? The hand is not enough, brother. I'm sorry. You should have just killed yourself at that point if you was gonna live your life like that. And why the fuck is he on the list now that I think about it? Nigga didn't beat no Goonies down. How the fuck was he a sex addict? He never had it.
1. Mahatma Gandhi. Well, while some of you might think celibacy is a hard journey, then I bet you're right. Mahatma Gandhi just confirmed it. And maybe that's why he's topping my list today. It's no secret that this legend is one of the founding fathers of India and was highly viewed as spiritual and more of a wise man. If you're Indian, you can confirm that in the comment section below. This man of the people also is believed to have some truces too, especially one that shocked the whole world when he was accused of being guilty of involving himself sexually with his grandnieces.
What?
It is said that he often used them as a replacement for his walking stick in the morning and then slept with them naked at night. Gandhi thought that it was necessary to conduct this so-called experiment in celibacy in order to achieve higher levels of spirituality. After getting accused of being immoral, Gandhi wrote a letter to Vallabhbhai Patel and said, "For me, Manu sleeping with me is a matter of dharma, moral duty." Gandhi kept insisting that these acts were important for him to get an idea about his strengths and weaknesses. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and remember...
Oh, fuck no. We looking up to some freak-ass niggas. I gotta go. I want y'all to let me know what y'all thought about this list, and let me know if y'all know any more people that are fucking freaky diabolical creatures. Cause this shit, I don't think this shit did it justice. Y'all let me know what y'all think though. See you next time.
Live, laugh, love, bitch.